Oh, man. They did it. They did it. Those son of a guns pulled it off. The Miami Dolphins get the win 32-26 in overtime over Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. Listen, I see you, Dolphins fans. I'm in tune, and I seen all of you were freaking out throughout this entire game, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. But my advice to you is, one, enjoy the win, because I don't know how many more are coming, and two, listen, if there's one thing to take from this as a positive, it's that we got a franchise quarterback under center. I'm sorry to say, I know a lot of people don't agree, but since coming back from this concussion, Tua has really taken charge of this team. You could see it in his body language. You could see it in his play. I mean, he's the reason the Miami Dolphins won this game. And I don't know how much credit people want to give to Mike McDaniel for that offensive scheme, but really, Tua makes it work. And the big plays, they're not there so much anymore this year. I think Tyreek has lost a step. You got Waddle, who, he's still fast. He's got that burst, but you could tell, I think he's hurting a little bit, maybe dealing with something on the back end. And you got Jonnu Smith, who's went off, but the weapons, there's no one to really throw jump balls to other than Jonnu. And, you know, the big plays haven't been there. But Tua has made up for that with great decision-making. So many times you could see he's going through his reads, getting to his third read, and dumping it off, and it's resulting in 8 to 15-yard gains. It's a beautiful thing to see. This is however many weeks straight now where there's no interceptions, clean football, making his reads. And even though the big shots aren't there, you're seeing an element of Tua where he's taking what's available. And that alone is something I could appreciate. He's throwing with timing, and that's enough glazing, all right? I'm not going to glaze Tua anymore. It's just that I see a lot of people really putting this season on Tua, and I get it. The injuries are a question mark, but you're really going to blame the guy for losing to the Packers last week? 365, 2 touchdowns, no picks, a clean game for the most part. I mean, listen, I've watched enough football to tell you that Tua is not the reason that the defense is butter soft. And they were butter soft again today. They are not doing well at beating those soft allegations, especially, all right, Javon Holland, who has been constantly given praise by the Miami Dolphins fan base. And for me personally, I am not trying to hate on the man, Javon Holland. I'm sure he's a great guy. I know he's a fan of anime, and he tries to present himself as just kind of like a nerdy guy. I'm sure he's a great guy, probably awesome to chill with. He has not played great football this year. I'm sure he knows that. And honestly, he really hasn't played that great of football in general as far as his career goes. He's been given a lot of praise that I feel like isn't warranted for the most part. Particularly today, interception in his hands, didn't have it. Listen, I'm not going to spend too much time honing in on one singular individual when as a whole this defense is not performing well, which then brings me to look at the coaching staff. Anthony Weaver, why is it on 3rd and 6 Davante Adams is standing there wide open, all alone? No one's within 8 yards of him on an out route. We're just conceding first downs against a 40-year-old quarterback. Oh, and then when they decide to go deep, like that one Garrett Wilson play, where is everybody? I mean, that should have been a touchdown. He was unbelievably wide open, and it should have been a touchdown. Luckily, it wasn't. That was a weird pronunciation of luckily. But luckily, it wasn't a touchdown, and that's what you get. Anyway, that's enough bitching, because let's enjoy this victory. Let's talk about how the Miami Dolphins pulled this thing out. So starting off, 40 seconds left in the half. You're down by a point. You just gave up a field goal. You know your defense can't stop anything. No timeouts. And Tua and the Dolphins offense gets in position for Jason Sanders to sink a 57-yard field goal. Couldn't believe he made it. And that was foreshadowing what would end up happening later on in this game. Going into the fourth quarter, Dolphins down by 8 points. And I see the fan base is up in arms. I get it. it was looking real bad. However, you get a good offensive drive, Tua to Tyreek Hill, and then Tua to Waddle for the 2-point conversion. We're tied in the fourth quarter. And then, lo and behold, you get a defensive stop. And things are looking good. All right, you could go down there and win this game, but then it just doesn't work out. You got to punt the ball back to the Jets. And 2 minutes or however much time was left, 3 minutes and some change, and you knew it was coming. You knew it was coming. The defense could not stop Aaron Rodgers, who had a 300-yard game for the first time since they were wearing leather helmets. All right, so Aaron Rodgers gets down the field, but to the credit of the defense, towards the end of the drive, you get a sack. All right, and it's third down, and was it 3rd and 21 or 3rd and 19? We'll say like 3rd and 20. 3rd and 20 at about the 40-ish, on the cusp of field goal range, 56 seconds, and no timeouts left for the Miami Dolphins. So the Jets could run the ball, bring the clock down to about 15 seconds or so, kick the field goal, and whatever would happen is what would happen. But if they made it, the game would be pretty much over. The Jets opt to throw a quick back shoulder ball to Davante Adams. And what's really odd about this, I don't know if this was intentional or not, but the defender for the Dolphins, I think it was Brooks, but I'm not 100% sure who it was, or if they did it on purpose, forced Davante Adams out of bounds. And because of this, yes, the Jets got much closer to kicking a field goal, but the clock stopped. All right? I don't know how many people caught that, but that was the difference in this football game, was that play right there where the clock stops because the Dolphins are out of timeouts. If he catches that ball and slides, this game does not go the Dolphins' way, unless there's some sort of insane miracle. But either way, push him out of bounds, and the Jets kick the field goal with about 50 seconds left. All right? And then the Jets got to kick it back to Tua. But before Tua would even get a chance, Malik Washington busts through the hole, and it's just him and the kicker, and he runs that motherfucker over, and you just knew right then and there the Miami Dolphins are coming back and doing this thing. As soon as that happened, I was back in it, confident, got out to about the 45 midfield, and Tua comes out there, brings us in a field goal range. Could have had a touchdown on that drive, but it wasn't meant to be. Still got in a field goal range, and Jason Sanders made it. Thank goodness. I couldn't bear to watch because I thought for sure we were going to miss that thing. But Jason Sanders makes the field goal, and we go to overtime. All right, going in overtime, the Dolphins win the toss. We get the ball first. And this is a moment. This is a moment for Tua Tagovailoa to win an NFL game in overtime with a touchdown. Not a game-winning field goal, not a game-winning drive, a game-winning touchdown. And I don't know how many of those Tua has, but I could think of a couple off the top of my head, like against the Chargers and the Ravens game. But he doesn't have many. So this is a moment for Tua. Another chance for him to cement himself as one of those guys in the NFL that could play under the pressure. So you start off, you do a little screen pass to Jonnu Smith, and Jonnu Smith, man, I love that guy. He's bowling over guys, gets out to about midfield, and it's looking good. Try the same play the next play. It works again. Jonnu Smith, first down, and now we're rolling. And not sure if it was one or two plays later, but then you do play action, Devon Achane, right over the middle. He gets the first down to the 12-yard line, and you can taste it. You know it's coming. Run the ball the next play. It's 2nd down and 7 from about the 9-yard line. Tua on a rope. Game on the line. Jonnu Smith, great grab. Dolphins win, shattering the souls of the Jets fans again because they have still never beat our guy Tua. And once again, Tua comes out on top. The Miami Dolphins get the win. I mean, that was an exciting one. A great way to win. I mean, if you were going to write the script for it, couldn't have wrote it any better. You find a way to beat the adversity, to get the win. And I'm not sure how many more wins are left on the schedule for this team. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but that's a big win. That's a big win for our quarterback to go out there and get. because he earned that one. He certainly did. He played very well today, played very well last week. He's played very well since coming back from that concussion. So if we could keep him from ramming headfirst into defenders, then, we got something there. But that's that. That's how the Miami Dolphins found a way to win. And I can't wait to listen to the reaction of one of my favorite YouTube channels, Jets Talk Radio, later. And it's not in a malicious way. I really am a big fan of those guys. They're very entertaining to watch. I get that. They're very entertaining to watch. And it's almost like, all right, I'm not alone. We're not the only fan base that's suffering. The Jets fans suffer too, along with us, and probably more than us, admittedly. So it's nice to actually listen to hear someone else be more agitated with their franchise than we are with ours. And yeah, they're just very entertaining. If you're into that kind of thing, go throw a subscription to those guys, man, because they stay on top of it. Even more than I do, because the Dolphins stink. I mean, I'm disappearing, man. I'm just showing up for the post game instead of showing up for the pregame. I've abandoned it. I've abandoned you guys. All right, those guys do not abandon their audience, so they're better people than me. But I'm here to celebrate the victory for the Miami Dolphins. Anyway, that's it. Dolphins get the win. Beautiful thing. Yeah!